I just wanna fuck.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to season 2 of Valhalla Esports. This is the Seer episode for week 4. I'm joined by It's the Salt. He's
Yo,
back from Europe. And
you're
Daisy.
Europia.
How you guys
you're
doing tonight?
good, good. Casted the earlier games today, and they wanted me back to troll some more, so I'm here.
That's right.
hmm
You and Modlock did a good job earlier. Hopefully, y'all caught it. And we'll jump over and go through the games that happened this week. Matchup number 1 was Los Nomadas versus Titan Gaming. Uh, looks like both teams had their no. No Samadas had their full lineup. They now have Leon in the jungle, and they moved Dainty Taco to support. Titan Mox had Blitzkrieg subbing in. So
And as
again,
well as Jed's dead as well.
oh yes, Jad Dad is subbing in currently. They're still looking to finalize their final top laner. So if you're looking to get on team, and I believe they have like 625 or so, you can try to hit up Fixper. But we'll jump into draft number 1. This one, Los Nomada's blue side, Titan Gaming Mox red side. Had the bands of Azir, Tristan, Milio from Nomadas, Karma, oh, sorry, Kiana, and Zillion from Titan Gaming Mox. Nagged up the Maokai first pick, answered back with Nautilus Trundle, grabbed Samira Warwick, and rounded out the first picks with Ezreal. Then Los Namadas took out Malphite and Cass, along with Titan Game taking out Swain and Gwen. And the pickup was Ornn, answered by Ari and Kennen, and the final pick of A Soul for Titan Gaming. How you guys
dude,
feeling about this draft?
dude, talk about
Also,
thick boy squad on the right side for Titans Gaming. Like they literally chose Titans. It was it's Aurelius Soul, Ornn, Trundle, not.
Los Nomadas took a draft or a draft page from Battle of the Bogs draft book of drafting like 4 AP champs. It's
That's the
chill.
best.
Yep, yep. We're putting all the eggs in the Samira pentakill basket. I like it. I like it. I mean, honestly, I think it's hard for like just looking at off the bat, it looks like it would be hard for Los Novatos to be able to deal with all of those tanks. Like Samira is not really known as being a tank killer until she gets enough armor pen that she can just shred people. But typically, I mean, they don't have a lot. They have a lot of burst on their team, but I would say like they're lacking the tank shredding ability. But you can see if the Samira gets ahead, then they also Titan Gaming doesn't really have a lot of champions that can just kill her either. So
Yeah, for sure. It's the balance of if she can get a good ult off and melt everybody. But let's see how this game turned out.
I feel like Los Nomadas might just like run away with the game early on here.
And looking like this one went to Los Nomados.
yeah,
Lambo
when
did
the
pop
Samira
off on
gets
that
14
Samira.
kills, it's
Too good, dude. I'm just too good.
yeah, like I said. I mean, they have the Nautilus ult like point and click CC, but other than that, like I believe she can just W the Nautilus ult. No, can she do that? I don't know. I don't play
I
Samira
don't
enough.
think
The
that
Nautilus and
one's
Nautilus, you
like
can
a
no.
projectile. I think it's kind of like Zerath's Q.
Yeah, it's possible. But I
But
mean, besides that,
she
there's
could
not.
block the ram. She could block the hook. There's a lot of things she can block.
Yeah, it's just tough when Samira's that many kills. You only have like a one point and click CC method on an ultimate ability, so
Right, right.
that's tough. It's tough.
Yeah, well played. Game 1 to Los Tomatas. Dainty Taco showing up on the Maokai, going
Ooh, they did
0321.
not get a single objective either. That was a blowout. They did
Yeah, that
not
feels
get
bad.
Clean
one
game from
That's
them.
objective.
not a single tower, nothing. That feels bad.
Let's
Nothing.
let's see what Titan Gaming Mox did to adjust for game number 2. Jump into that draft. Looking like they respected Samira, took that one out. So it was the Karma, Zillion,
Both
Samira.
Namadas are the thick boys now.
They had the same Azir, Milio, and Tristana, and then again favoring that Maokai. This time Titan Gaming went with the Udyr and the Amumu, so two big tanks and a big engage ultimate from the Amumu. Got the Zaya and the Jarvan, and then Severe for round number one. Once again, took out Cass, and this time said we don't want to deal with the Asol for Los Nomadas. And then Titan Gaming said no Ari and no Ken in this game.
And no Samaria.
Yep, yep.
I'm just surprised that Los Namadas didn't take the Swain here, but like with Titan, I don't see how Titan Gaming can lose this game. Like I feel like the Swain is just unkillable unless like you have a 14 and Ozaya like you did the Samira.
Yeah,
Like
you're just
I don't
saying Lambo pop off again. You got it.
the Swain is quite literally unkillable by pretty much everyone on their team except for the Zaya. So and now they have like a Mumu ult, they have Shen R taunts. Like I don't know. I just don't feel. I feel like the Swain is just going to be a huge problem this game unless you, especially with like Flimsy on it. I feel like he's just going to be unkillable.
I mean, that's the way
Yeah,
I
for
feel
sure.
about that's why I feel about the more top though into the Shen pick. It feels bad. What if you
Oh yeah,
especially
yeah.
super far
One
behind
v
him?
one, yeah. A 1v1 it definitely feels bad, but I feel like Sivir just ends up shredding tanks later. So I feel like you have that going for you. A lot of peel on her as well.
Mm.
Let's jump in, see how it went. Get that score screen up. And this one,
Yeah.
Titan Gaming Bucks took it. Looking like 12, 1, and 15. Swain for Flimsy Fence. Very strong performance there.
Dude, look at Jad's dad going like, what was that 2-0 and 18? Is that what that says?
The
Yeah, that's what
unkillable
that says.
Demon King of Jad's dad.
Jesus, Jesus, looks like he just
The
ulted the
unkillable
Swain
Shen.
on the repeat. Yeah,
Yeah,
Very,
man.
very well played there. Definitely just played it safe in lane and ulted to team fights, looking like. So well played there, Jad's dad. And looking like that, Amumu was effective for Blitzkrieg Pyro. Probably setting up a lot of good team fights for them.
yeah.
He's kind of their main
I
engage
mean,
in this game.
Sivir wasn't even really involved that much in the fights. It was literally just Flimsy whipping his burb out and slapping everyone with it.
Yeah, I
Armor
mean,
said, I'm going to farm this game.
yeah, literally, Sivir almost has 300 CS and still, it was only 3-2 and 3. But then you look at Vixper, 7-2 and 11, just 18 KP running
What I'm
around the map.
assuming is Blitzkrieg just roamed and let the Sivir clear waves, and then
Oh,
they
yeah,
just like all the fights happen topside.
Yeah,
That's what I would assume. If we
yeah,
saw the kill graph, it would
yeah. It
probably
looks like
show
a
that.
bloodbath, probably.
for
Yeah.
sure. But ties up the series 1-1. Let's jump into draft number 3. See how Los Nematis decided to pivot. Looks like they didn't want the Udyr or the Sivir, still banning that Milio. And Titan Gaming kept the first 3 bans from last game.
Titans gaming. We decide to go 4 tanks and Jinx.
But we got the Jinx. So yeah, Titan going the beefy boys this game with the 180C. A lot of meat in front of her, but Los Nematis
Ooh.
answer with the
Hey
Ezreal,
yo.
Leona, Ari, Kennen, and Warwick. So they do have a fair amount of dive with the Warwick. The Ari can ult around, and the Leona ult. So this is just a game of trying to kill Arma.
Yeah. I mean, again, this is a very like I don't know why because the Swain was left open. I'm curious that both teams didn't opt for it, even though it like Lindsay did really well in the last time, and Snarbopsy also likes Swain. Swain into. I mean, I do show he picked Ari on 3.
Apparently, it was
So
a
he didn't.
picking issue during the draft.
Oh, there's a picking issue.
The
Okay,
Zach was
picking
No.
issue.
Cassidy.
Oh,
Oh,
Zach
the Zach was
Cassidy.
Cassidy. Gotcha. Thank you. Thank you. All right.
Oh, okay, okay.
So they did
I
have
was just like,
two damage sources.
Gotcha. Okay.
well, I assumed it was like I assumed it would have been AP Zach mid, but yeah, I
Yeah, I
mean,
was like, why is Flimsy playing Zach mid?
yeah,
But
would have been
Cassidy makes more sense. Zach and Cassidy, they're basically the same name, so I get how that happens.
yeah, that's close. Zach looking isn't that that's funny because didn't the game that we just or that just streamed they picked Zach instead or banned Zach instead of Vex. Like people are
Yep.
just
Yeah, it was a
people are just wanting to fix Zach. I guess they're just like, oh shoot, it's not Zach is just the infinite placeholder for any other champ in the game.
yeah, we're just having
Apparently,
some issues with picks and bans, no big deal.
yeah,
Well,
we're just picking Zach. Like everyone just wants to play Zach.
let's toss it over to the score screen, see who pulled out the series. And it was Los Nomadas picking up their first victory of the season.
Wait, but
Like,
Leone has Zach. Wait, what happened?
wait, what?
What?
Oh, they probably told him
What
it was
is going
Zach
on?
or Catherine instead of Zach. So then Leon said, "I'll pick whatever, but I want Zach."
Jesus Christ.
This is a high quality draft pick.
Wait,
I appreciate
they
it.
picked Zach, and then they picked Zach instead of Cassidy, and then they picked Warwick, saying no, this is
Saying, no,
supposed to be
this is
Zach.
Zach. The
Oh my
classic, quick classic.
We'll get this right eventually, but
god. I'm just like
Thank you
I'm like, wait,
for
what?
thank you for helping
dude,
us clear it up, Blitz.
yeah, look
Jeez,
at
man.
BF Delambo just like pop off 12-0-9. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
Lambo had a huge game. Snarbopsy had a very good game on
I mean,
Ari.
Leon too,
Leon
3-1
jumping on
15.
everywhere. So yeah,
Leon took the Zach right out of Flimsy's hands.
definitely. Right. Well played, Delos Nomadas. Good job picking up that first series victory. Let's jump into the next games, which is the ones we just streamed earlier today with Modlock and the Salt Casting. We had Velocity Gaming against Soarstar. And both teams did have their there was a sub in the top lane. It was crispy chicken in the
Yep,
top instead
for
of too
Too
good
Good
for
for
the
My
Luna. Yep,
guy, crispy chicken.
crispiest for sure.
yeah, man, you gotta get those screenshots for us, Blitz. You gotta write them in for us. But we'll jump into draft number one. We'll go through these ones
We
pretty
had
quick.
a double draft boo boo.
A triple
A
draft boo boo,
triple.
actually.
There's a triple draft boo boo.
But
Yes.
they actually get better as they go in this series.
Yeah,
This one
slowly,
we'll go
yeah.
through pretty quick because we just streamed them. If you're interested, just check out that VOD. But Sorstar grabbed Ari, Thresh, Ash, Olaf, and Mordekaiser against the Aphelios, Syndra, Milio, Ornn, and Ivern. So we can just toss it to the score screen. In this game, it was taken by Velocity. No. Yes, Velocity
Yes.
Yeah,
this
Velocity
one.
Gaming. And yeah, Excellence carried a lot of it.
Excellence had a huge game mid, and Wheel Poker got fairly fed on that
Oh yeah,
Aphelios.
huge.
Jumping draft number two.
Fluffy, it's not all about you.
We almost nailed it this one. So close.
It hasn't been
So
shown
close.
yet, but I'll tell everyone how you fed. It's okay, Fluffy. Game number two.
There's the Zach.
Uh, Velocity grabbed Aphelios, Hecarim, Milio, Orin, and Ari. Star grabbed the Annie, Jax, Nocturne, Soraka, and Lux. So they had a Lux AP carry this game. Jump into the score screen.
Fluffy, we're gonna skip games 2 and 3, and we're just gonna go over game
Skip
1.
game one. We're only going to
Yeah.
talk about game one. We're going to skip game three because that's the game
Yeah.
I did shit.
Junie popped off here on the Lux, just one-shotting everybody. Eventually, the Sirocco was like unkillable basically. So well
Yeah,
played
there
on
was
bot lane,
some.
AP bot lane.
There was an interesting end game team fight that may or may not have caused Sorstar to win. It might have been an oopsie.
What's it? Highly interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I watched that fight. There was a few things that I wanted to mention, but yeah, well, if you haven't seen the stream, you see the stream, you know what I'm talking about.
Fluffy, we're not going to show your pentacle. If people want to see it, they can go look in chat where you posted it.
Jeez, this guy,
Yeah.
what an
Relax,
attention
bro.
monger.
But yeah,
Jeez, man.
well played
We'll
game
raise
two
your
here from
salary next
Soarstar.
season.
Yeah, we'll
Holy.
stroke your ego later.
Game number three.
Nailed the draft
Soarstar
finally.
grabbed the Jin, the Annie, the Morg, the Poppy, the Shun. Velocity grabs Samira. Nautilus, the true carry, Zach, Corky, and Mordecai.
Is that a real Zach or is that a fake Zach?
It's a real Zach. We
That's a
nailed the draft this
real
time.
Zach.
That's a real Zach. Holy. Another 4 AP comp. Let's go. We love the 4 AP comps.
And
It
this
worked
one
out
was
for 'em.
taken by Velocity. They took the series. This was a very back and forth game. Could have gone either way. But with a couple good team fights in the end and Lethal securing a lot of kills early from Wheel Poco, doing a
Yeah,
good job as
yeah.
support. They closed out the series with a victory.
Yeah, they won the game pretty much because of Lethal, 'cause as a Nautilus, he zoned off 3 people off Elder for
Uh,
some reason, so
Next up, just for Fluffy, we'll skip Big Wheel versus Battle of the Bullets. No one cares. No, no, we can
yeah,
go that one.
I guess.
I guess nobody cares. Both teams had their full lineup. Actually, no. Koskaro, fun fact, isn't in the league anymore. Found it far too hard to be somewhere the same time every week at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Mhm.
So they subbed in Golden Pharaoh for support in these games.
Yep.
We'll jump into draft number one. For this draft, Big Wheel banned away the Diana, Senna, and Elise. I was blanking. Two jungle bans and one ban away from our bot lane. We took out the Gragas from EVBot. Never let that man have Gragas.
Sure.
Noted.
Took out the
Noted.
Jace from their mid laner and took away Zeri from Fluffy. uh, Fluffy picked up the Aphelios. We grabbed the Jinx, Karma. They followed up with Zek and Renata Glass. And we grabbed the Jarvan. Then they banned away Thresh and Mouse, and we took out the Jax and Brand. Big Wheel grabbed Fiora and Annie, and we closed it out with the Galio and Darius. So we were basically looking to get tactic pretty big. Looked to have Bolg ult around with ganks from Keanu to kind of have a 4-man gank squad. And I just grabbed Darius to try to bully the Fiora early. Looking like they were
Heck
going for a
yeah.
big carry on
All my
Aphelios.
homies hate Fiora.
My
Ugh,
homies.
gross.
They were going for a big carry in the Aphelios split push for Avius on the Fiora, and then just kind of standard mid carry with the Annie. But we can jump to the score screen. And Battle of the Bull took game one. This one kind of just rolled really quickly in our favor. You see, it was a 22-minute game. Tactic got ridiculously fed. Keanu did really well, 9-0, 13, 13-0, 11. And I did a good job just kind of bullying early into the Fiora. So this
Nah,
one
nah, we
was
don't gotta
pretty
talk about that.
one-sided.
Yeah, we don't have to talk about that. Anyways, MPG tactic, yeah, carry.
Yeah, big carry, big carry, big
Yeah.
carry.
Big carry, big carry.
So this one was kind of just a stomp, honestly.
Fluffy
But
did
then we'll
go
jump
one
into
seven
game
and
number two.
one, so he
Fluffy,
was
fantastic. Everybody remember that.
Yeah,
so skip the
highlight.
next two games and go to NRO versus the
Yeah,
Stone Nose.
that was the series.
Yeah, they
Oh,
actually just forfeited after that because Fluffy just couldn't handle it.
And
oof.
then we'll go into draft number two.
But why do I feel like I know what happens these next 2 games?
You have no idea. Um, so we banned away the same first three. They also banned away the same first three. We grabbed the Jinx once again, and Fluffy pivoted to the Samira. And they got the Nautilus to lane with Samira, very deadly combo down their bot. We grabbed Galio and Jarvan once again, and this time they third picked the brand. Didn't want us to ban it away again in phase two. We took out
True.
Fiora and Jax. They took out Thresh and Karma. And then we picked up Janna and Trundle against the Lilia and Udyr. So this one, kind of, we were running it back. We needed a new support, so we were trying to have the Janna to keep Jinx safe against that hook from Nautilus, and I kind of got counterpicked on the Trundle because Udyr, when he goes AP, is pretty good into me, but it went pretty well in lane, and we can jump to the score screen to see how everyone did. So this game was very tight. Could have gone either way. Big Wheel ended up closing it out in the end. Fluffy got huge, got a pentakill this game near a dragon fight. Um, Avius and I were kind of scrapping the whole game, and our junglers would occasionally come up to join the fights, but we were pretty even this game. Hardway was getting a ton of damage down just with those brand ults because it bounces around, it does a ton, and Evbot dealing out that damage with the Lilia, and then of course just the hook-ins from Golden Pharaoh. He was getting a lot of good engages for him. So this one was a very tight game, but they closed it out, so we went to game number 3.
Yeah, Fluffy was huge. Jesus.
So we can jump into that drift. Um, we banned away Gragas, Brand, and Zeri this time, first 3. They took away the Jarvan instead of the Elise. And Fluffy was feeling himself, so he picked up that Samira first pick. Hindsight, we probably should have banned the Samira, but things happen. We grabbed the Nautilus because we didn't want them to have that combo again, and we picked up the Elise for Keanu. Hardway got to play his Jace, and they picked the Rel to go with the Samira, so have a good engage combo, and we grabbed our Varus ADC. They took away the Galio and my Trundle. Got a arrow through the heart. They banned away my Trundle. How rude. We took
Respect.
away Jax and Zek. What was that?
It's the biggest Swain counter.
True.
The Trundle filler.
You've learned about my Trundle.
Yeah.
We grabbed a Pantheon support. It was actually a Nautilus mid when we picked it up. They grabbed Echo and Ornn, and then we rounded out with Camille for me.
Of
So
course.
kind of similar to the last game. Trying to keep tactic on a hyper carry. We had
Did you guys
Bolg.
just want to? Did you guys just want to point and click CC on Pantheon? That's why you picked it for Samira, or?
It was just what we wanted to play at the time, essentially.
There was no reason behind it. They were just
Yeah.
like Pantheon.
There's no
Yeah.
reason. I feel like playing Pantheon, so you know.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah. But we can jump in the score screen, see how it went. I ended up playing like ass this game. I injured my head off. Avius got huge on that Ornn. Fluffy,
Doesn't say who won
F-Bot,
or
and
lost.
Hardway all got really big.
Doesn't say who won or lost though.
That's true.
Yeah, it's true. Nobody knows. You definitely can't tell by the damage numbers.
Yeah. I just want you to say it out loud, for everybody here.
Big Wheel picked up the victory for the series. Well played to them.
Damn.
I do feel like our draft was a little scrambled, so wasn't the best showing game 3, but it was still a very tight series. But well played to them.
The assassin tank mage ADC champion will do.
Was it possibly the random Pantheon pick? Was that? Do you think it had something to do with it, or?
I think he's saying it was all Janelle's fault.
No.
Gotcha.
No, I wouldn't go like that. Like we wanted to take away the Nautilus, but it was a little weird having it mid. And then I just played like crap. I think was the biggest thing.
What do you mean? I thought not mid was your guys' like secret pocket pick, like tech.
Yeah, but we didn't really have a team comp to go along with it, so
Sad.
happens. But we can jump
panda.
into the next matchup, which is NRO versus the Stoners. Deity, I'll let you run through this one.
All right, so we got, let's see, believe they have all their players. Yeah, they have Mockingbird, Kid Buu, Marbra, Nithros, Beeson versus Bonkers, Cladan, Boosted, Rise at Dusk, and Worthy Dust. Should be a banger of a matchup here. We had the two. These are the two of the 2-3-0 teams at the or sorry 2-0 teams at the time.
Yep.
Undefeated teams fight off, so it's always exciting.
I absolutely love Night
Oh
Raid.
yeah, the last matchup was also a fight of the 2-0 teams at the time.
Yep. So I see they banned Vigar away from Boosted. They banned Zach away from Cladan and Thresh away from believe Beeson, or who's the Rank Center support? It's Worthy Dust. So that's interesting because most teams' approach to banning out Rolling Stoners is just ban out all the green junglers. If you watch last week, they just every team bans the green junglers. They banned Zach, Rammus, Amumu. every
Sure.
game, first round. But this time they only did not want to see the Zac, so it's respect letting Cladan play a green jungler. So it's hype. We first pick Rakan, and then we follow up with Melio Aphelios. I think Melio Aphelios, or I mean, both those champs are just OP. Sejuani Kaisa. Okay, it's interesting that we don't want to pair the Zaya with the Rakan, but I guess we want to go the IG bot lane and go Rakan Kaisa. Follows it up with the Green Jungler, Amumu.
The green.
And the second round bans, we have a Malphite ban and a Lux ban on Night Raid, banning out Boosted and going for Bonkers Malphite, scared of it, and banning out the Ari and the uh, Yone for NRO. Okay, okay.
Did it? So
We
they not throw any bans towards Mockingbird then, or
I believe the Yone is a Mockingbird ban. Well, I mean they both I think play Yone, but I think
flex pick?
Mockingbird. Yeah, I think it's a flex pick between Marbro and Mockingbird, but
Got
I think I've seen Mockingbird play Yone. Um, so we got the Galio pick from Boosted, and now that both his control mages were banned, we got a Fiora Tom Kench.
Dude, that
Uh,
yeah, I saw
is
that.
He
I
that
was like,
runs
wait
real?
a
that Tom
second.
Kenchman. Yeah, he's been
Oh,
playing
that's
Tom
real.
Kenchman.
Okay. Okay, that's
Gotcha.
real. Gotcha.
Yeah, I was
So
super
we
confused.
like putting Murbrod in tanks, I see. And then
He generally goes AP.
yeah, if it Tom Kench, yep. And then we got Gragas for the top lane. Uh, Gragas pretty much a good pick into any champion, even the accursed Fiora. So let's see how that game went.
This was the other series we streamed earlier this week, so if you're interested in seeing any of these games, check out that VOD.
All right, Nithrish just went sicko mode and just morbed all over him. That looks pretty good.
Yep,
I
I
like.
remember this one. Nitros got ahead early and just became a monster. And having that Mabra and Kidby front line just made it
They
that much
did get
easier
a
for him to
Baron
fight.
steal. They did get a Baron steal. Cladan did get a Baron steal, I think.
Yeah, he did.
Unless
But
yeah,
Cladan's
he got
just
the Baron steal.
cracked.
Yep, he got the Baron steal. The one objective was Baron. Good
Cla-
job
We're in
for
30
good job.
in 35 minutes. Worthy Dust didn't die. Oh, and 6. 35-minute game.
Yep. Worthy Dust is
yeah,
a
we did
KDA player.
velocity.
Worthy Dust is a yeah, he's definitely a KDA player. Didn't die when his Nexus was falling. That's
Wow.
pretty
Affordable
tragic.
for sure. Yeah.
Imagine for not as the Emilio trying to fight to your last breath for the Nexus. Just kind of shameful, honestly. Dude, everyone in chat just wants us to talk about them. Like, holy. All right, we'll
Go
go to the
back
next
to
game.
us.
We'll go to the next game. Just a bunch of egomaniacs and fucking in chat. All right,
And just so
all right.
everyone
For
knows, Cladan really likes the Moo, so just keep that in mind if you play them.
yeah, so NRO ran it back to the same first round bans. Rolling Centers banning the Lilia, the Silas, and the Zeri. So we got some interesting champions here. So we first pick Melio because the champ's OP and Riot won't nerf it, so you might as well pick it. We got the response of Blitzcrank and Ezreal. Blitzcrank's usually a pretty decent response to Melio just because you can hook the little guy and just punch him. And that's always nice because he's just in all of my normal games and ranked games, and I just don't want to see him anymore.
I'm sensing
Uh,
some trauma here, but go ahead, continue.
yeah, no, I wanted to. I'm trying to keep it family friendly.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. So I do show that Wukong and Lucian picked here, which Lucian pales well with Melio, and then we see the Rammus, the other green jungler, for Cladan. Looks like maybe because they got the Mumu down the line. But we see the Ari and the Fiora bans from Rolling Stoners. We don't want to see Mockingbird on the Fiora again. And then same bands from Night Raid Owls. The going with the Lux and the Malphite. and they went ahead and picked Annie and Amumu on Rolling Stoners, and they picked Corky and Aatrox, which Aatrox is spicy.
Hmm.
Like me some
Nice.
Aatrox.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about the drafts?
This one was definitely an interesting one from Rolling Stoners. I appreciated Bonker's Ram top pick. It was entertaining to comment on during the VOD casting.
Yeah, that was.
The Aatrox was having very good time in lane, um, and they had some good ult combos on the side of Night Raid. What about you, Sel?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Ramus the Ramus topic was very interesting and hilarious at the same time. So it was kind of troll, but at the same time, he did really well on it, like very well.
All right, we're never gonna be able to talk about Wheel Poco again. We gotta stop stroking his ego.
Yeah, it's over. That guy, I don't even know who that
Who
guy is. Continue.
who is that guy? Let's
Who is
jump
that
into
guy?
the score screen, see how this game went. So this was a victory for the Rolling Stoners. Boosted played very well on the Annie, 13, 3, and 13. Cladan was popping off on the Mumu again, and Rise of Dusk got very big. Bonkers essentially scaled to how many items did he get? 3.5 to 3.5 items and became useful. But
True.
was useful for the last couple of team fights to help him close out the game.
Was 1v wanting turrets as a bunker
Here.
as a
Right.
remnant?
All right. I see an item. I see an item here that so just a little tip because I have to comment on it because I'm morally obligated to. If you're gonna go top lane Rammus, don't build Frozen Heart because then you're lowering their attack speed with that you taunt them with, so you're actually making them do less damage to themselves.
True. I actually
PSA.
build the inverse of Frozen Heart so they attack you faster.
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah, you have to
Yeah,
actually increase their attack speed against you because then you'll do more damage.
yeah.
So
I don't think he built that until after laning phase was over. But yeah,
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 he rushed the Thornmail, got the Mythic, and then I think got the Frozen Heart.
yeah.
Uh,
always build Randuins if you're gonna build one of the Warden's mail
outload.
items.
But well played here to the Rolling Stoners, and we'll roll into game number three's draft.
Yep.
All right, so we have same drafts both sides. We're sticking with the same kind of bands this time. Rolling Cylinders on blue side. First pick Emilio, OP champ. Good job. Paradel is responding with a Blitzcrank. Seems pretty. Seems like that is the Valhalla Esports counter to Emilio. It's just decided that it's Blitzcrank. We got plenty of other hook champs in the game, but we're going with Blitz. Going with the Sejuani, also a popular jungler in the server. Responding with the Lucian and Green Jungler. And then we're going with Jin, which I don't hate it. I don't know. I don't love Jin with Blitzcrank. I mean I'd prefer a different ADC with him, but if Nithors just likes the Jin here, then I can see it. So then we got Fiora and Ari bands. Don't want to see those champions. Malphite and this time an Annie ban instead of a Lux ban. We get the Akali from I think Marbra, unless they take
Yeah.
the Irelia top. Yeah, Marbra on the Akali, and then Mockingbird on the Irelia, and then we got Busa on the Malzahar, and we got Bonkers on the Alawi. Wholesome champion, wholesome champions on both sides. We should be a clean match. No riot, please. In this game, surely.
We see Kladan ran Amumu 3 games in a row, so you're gonna keep giving it to me. I'm
Yeah.
gonna keep playing it.
Yeah. Really weird. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
he that's his favorite green jungler.
it's true. And then Alawi just looking to try to bully this Ari and Aurelia in lane.
Zach just has a bigger dash, so they just want to get rid of the bigger dash.
True, but let's jump to four screens, see who won up the series. and it was indeed the Rolling Stoners taking the series 2-1. Um, Bonkers got pretty huge in this game, as well as Rise at Dusk. Cladan again popping off on that Amumu. If you're playing them next week, you might want to make them play a different champion.
Yeah, they Blitzcrank did not counter the Melio. I see that that was it's a tough game for Beeson. I assume there was there's some gankage happening in the bot lane that game from
Yeah,
Cladan on the green jungler.
there were a fair
Could
amount
be.
of ganks. I think they got a couple kills early thanks to the hooks, but then I remember in the game, Beeson got some hooks that landed, but didn't exactly pull the person you wanted to pull. So there were a couple unfortunate
Oh, he
side
pulled the
effects.
green boy.
We
You
see
don't pull the
Mabra.
green one.
Mabra was feeling the hype train early for the static shiv. That item's kind of nutty right now, but
Yeah.
didn't quite pull it off for him.
Really,
Yeah,
and Bonkers just proceeded to be so dominant. You need at least 3 or 4 people to take care of him, so
yeah, you gotta pull little soccer boy. You can't pull green boy.
no.
Right, right.
That's a common misconception.
Mhm.
But well played through the Rolling Stoners, maintaining the undefeated streak. One of right now it's them,
3 teams.
the Goat Kings, and a Big Wheel who are undefeated.
There will be a maximum of
At least one
2.
less next week.
Yeah.
There will be at least one next. Yep.
But we'll
Place your
jump
bets.
into the next series, which was Goat Kings against Titan's Wrath. Data, I'll let you run through it again since this was your team.
All right. Yep. It's us versus them. Go draft. All right.
Go, go, go.
So so for drafts, we got some interesting
Next.
bands. They yep. Next game. All right. They get some interesting bands up. They did not want Hobbit on Jin. Did not want me on Kane. They took your advice from last week's Seer episode where everyone wanted to ban my Belbussy, and you suggested they should ban Kane, and they took that advice. They banned Kane.
Hey, they did it.
And then they banned the Anivia. Did not want Anivia, and we banned the Green Jungler. We banned Morgana, and we banned Blitzcrank. Uh, Beard doesn't like Blitzcrank, so we didn't want to ban it. We know Bentage has first picked Morgana before, and we just didn't want to deal with giving him his comfort champ. And then Boomsticks Ramus is kind of a headache for the champs I like to play, so didn't want to deal with it. So that's their bans. They did first pick the Seraphine for Bentage. We responded with Caitlyn Belveth. They picked Sivir Braum. We picked Malzahar. They banned Neat out a little bit with the Malphite Shen bans. We banned Orin Alawi to target Delicious. We picked Ivern support for Beard.
Wow.
And then they picked Munda Wukong, and we responded with Urgot for Neat.
Actually, calling out Hobbit. The Morg ban was because Hobbit can't actually dodge Morg bindings.
I mean, you're not wrong, but
Yeah,
But yeah,
I would. Hey, I will not confirm or deny this. This is just I'm just the messenger.
yep.
I like your guys' team comps. The Goat Sneeze team comp. The Iron
Yeah,
seems a little random.
they made the draft lull, and
Yeah.
they wanted to have a little bit of fun there.
A
So
Mhm.
little bit.
Yeah,
we let
just
them
a
have
little
their
bit.
fun. Yeah.
The Iron seems a little random, but I can see how it would work.
So funny.
The reason they like it is because Caitlyn
Yeah,
when
the
Caitlyn stands and
headshots.
bushes the headshots, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And
And then
also
I like
we wanted to play towards Neat this game, so
giving Neat a carry champion. I like
yeah,
it.
we giving him a carry champ. I wanted to play Belveth, so I wanted to play around top side anyway. So they wanted to pick something that was gonna be like a little bit safer from ganks and like something they could kind of just bully like the Sivir and Braum with, which is pretty like passive lane. So they just wanted something safe and that could get like a CS lead by themselves.
Right. And then on Titan draft side, they kind of just have a group up as 5 and team fight.
They have a
So
meatball comp. Yeah,
definitely,
they just
definitely a meatball comp. Some good scaling in the Sivir. So if they get even and get the team fights, then I could see them having a good time in this game. But let's roll on to the score screen. And Titans Wrath did pick it up. Oh my gosh, Delicious was
Yeah.
15-0 and 7.
Yeah, Mundo,
yeah. He
yeah.
got a he got an there was an unlucky 3v3 up top lane early game, and Delicious just picked up all the kills. So it
Mm,
My
was
goodness.
it was a little tough. We didn't really we unfortunately it wasn't really much of a game. They won it pretty convincingly. Bentage was just able to always keep mid lane pushed in and just be able to roam with a boomstick, and they all kind of just walked around as a 5-man meatball. And yeah, there wasn't too much that we could do against it once the snowball got rolling. Once the meatball got rolling, there wasn't too much we could do to stop it.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean it looks like it.
yeah, well played.
You had to get beaten by your favorite top lane champion, of course.
I know, dude. It was a tragedy. Honestly,
Oh man,
I was beaten by my own love, my mundo.
looks like KB also had a pretty good game on that Severe. But let's hop into draft number 2. See how you guys adjusted.
Yep. So this time we opted for blue side since and we wanted to go for the Seraphine. So we did the same 3 bands, and we wanted the Seraphine. They did the same 3 bands too, which we weren't sure if they were going to do the same 3 bands because Beard Seraphine usually ends up getting banned, but they left it up, so we just first picked the Seraphine. They picked Braum Sivir because that's what they won with, so they wanted to stick with it. We picked Nyla, so we can get like a scaling bot lane going, and we can get the Seraphine to get higher levels. And always think like enchanters with Nyla is like just pretty solid in general.
Yeah,
And then Malphite because they banned it last time, so we knew that we should probably just take it here. And then they responded with the Mundos. They want to do the run back. We banned Wukong Aurelion Soul. So we adjusted and just banned Wukong extra because we just didn't want them to have a similar meatball comp with the Wukong engage, which was like a lot of how they did, how they were winning fights later or in the end game, was just because of the Wukong ult.
right,
They took
right.
away my Kindred and then the Malzahar. They blind picked the Vigar. We responded with Kassadin, who is just overall pretty good into Vigar. Both just want to scale up, and then I picked the Viego because I think Viego does pretty good against front to back teams. And then they picked the Vi, which didn't love the Vi pick from them just because they're like we kind of all want to go into them, so like I don't think the Vi has too much like value here. Kind of just plays into how we want to. Is like we want like close range kind of engage kind of stuff. We pick out the Vi. You know, I think it's a pretty good matchup for Viego. But what do you guys think of the draft overall?
I definitely like Neat on the Malphite more. It's his standard rock champion in the top lane where he plays very well on it. Getting Beard the Seraphine is obviously huge. She loves that champion. Um, I haven't seen Hobbit really play Nilo, but I'm sure he can play it well. And then it's nice you got to have that counter in the mid pick. Uh, I would have liked to have seen Titan Draft pick their jungler in pick 4 and then given themselves a counter pick in mid. But
Yeah,
I can see their idea. They're kind of running it back with a similar comp. Just have to have the new jungle in mid.
yeah.
Um,
I feel like they didn't really use their last pick very well because I don't think the Vi is really a counter to anything that we have on our team. So yeah,
yeah,
I agree. I didn't love the Vi last pick. I feel like Vi is fine, but they should have just picked it on 4 if they wanted it.
right. And it
And
could have been like an Amumu. We've seen how good it can be, and even if the enemy team's just trying to jump on you, it can be good for peeling as well as engaging. Unfortunately, the front line didn't like to turn around.
Damn, shots fired.
Bench is calling out his team.
Tunnel Vision, a classic, a classic.
How do you feel about Assault?
Yeah, I kinda agree with the whole, like, last picking the Vi here. Kind of just weird once you've seen like the team comp of Go Kings. It's like you have a Malphite. You're going to a team with a Malphite, not Nyla, like Seraphine, and then I'm like, okay, like what is your you're looking to engage first, or you're gonna looking to disengage, possibly, or survive the
Okay,
engage?
so Vintage
Denying
says he
Vigor.
wants,
Yeah.
yeah, dying Vigor. I can kind of get that, but I still think it's like I think that's fine logic, but I also think that like Vigar is like not blindable champion in my opinion. But
Yeah,
yeah, unless you know what the other team is gonna play against it. But yeah,
Right.
it's I guess I can see if you guys were trying to take it away from James, then it's not.
Fantastic game to watch
cool.
through mid game.
Yeah,
Let's
bold move,
let's
letting
jump
them
into
pick
the
the moon
score
though.
screen and see how this game went. And this one was picked up by the Goat Kings.
Oh wow,
Looking
and
like
Yeah, this one was
working on
Reaper
lines,
had a
huh?
very good game. Hobbit getting some kills, Data getting some kills, and Mr. Neat definitely having a better time in this one.
This one was a pretty close game. It looks like for the most
oh
part.
yeah, yeah. There was a lot of back and forth in this game. I The difference is Delicious didn't have a pop off game this game and go
Yeah,
15-0.
yeah,
But yeah, a
Right.
lot of it was around like bot side this game rather than the other game was mainly around top side. There's a lot of like back and forth fights that we just had a few went our way. Also, Reaper had a really strong game on Cassidon and was just able to make it so like Vintage couldn't play as much and
Right.
yeah. I mean that's true. I mean there was a few fights that like you guys got a little over anxious and went in, and then I was able to get a reset on Viego, and then we kind of just turned it, and then Cassidon just did Cassidon things.
yeah.
Good
Yeah.
old
Also
Viego.
Sarah ults. Yeah, there's a lot of team fights in this game, and like some of them went their way, some of them went our way, but towards the end they just kept going our way since we were able to fight in good spots, and yeah, we were able to turn it. They did have a I believe they did have a gold lead early
Nice.
versus us, but
Yep.
yeah, we were able to turn it.
So we'll jump into draft number 3, see how the series was closed out.
Still banning the green the green champion, and then you
Yeah,
all got
I don't like that green champion. Yeah, so this time we they wanted blue side because they wanted the first pick Sarah. They decided to leave up the Jin this time and ban Malphite. And then we banned Seraphine because we didn't want them to first pick it. So they ended up first picking Kindred. Uh Boomstick, I know likes Kindred, and I also like Kindred, so I think they just wanted to pick it for him so that I wouldn't be able to get it.
Hmm.
Um, we picked Cassidy and Tarek because we did really want Tarek in this one since Seraphine we banned out the Seraphine, and then I know that James wanted Cassidy again because we knew Bentage was most likely gonna play AP mid laner mage like a control mage since his Morgana uh and Seraphine were banned, so we were just like, okay, he's probably gonna play like Vagar, Malzahar, Lux, some brand, some kind of mid lane AP mage. So we
Mhm.
just figured that we'd blind the Kassadin, which he did respond with the Malzahar. They did pick up Senna for Critter, and we put Mr. Neathgo on Cho'Gath since they banned Malphite. We banned out Alawi Mundo from Delicious. They banned out Nyla and Viego. Didn't want me and Hobbit on those champions again. I picked the Jarvan, which funny enough is yeah, funnily enough, I did not practice Jarvan since I switched to jungle. This is actually like my first game playing Jarvan in a while because I just looked at their team comp and it just like to me I was just like, okay, I could play Belveth, but like I'm just gonna get Malzahar ulted. I could play Kane, but I'm just gonna get Malzahar ulted and Kindred ult, and it just seemed like a lot of that stuff was like very anti me playing those champions were like really bad into the champs I usually play, so I just thought that I would give some extra engage to my team since we didn't have like the Malphite go button or anything, and with the Taric, it's like and Cassidon, like it seems like a good game to play Jarvan. So I went with the Jarvan. They went with Mordekaiser for Delicious, and then they picked Renekton for KB bot lane. They played Renekton
Easy.
ADC. Yeah, Renekton ADC, and
Mhm.
then we responded with Caitlyn, just because it's pretty good, have long range into the Renekton, and yeah, that's what do you guys think?
Bold move on the Renekton Cinnabot.
Oh yeah,
Very,
yeah,
very
we
bold
were
move.
surprised, yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently, they wanted Cho also, but you guys picked up first, so that's interesting.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I like
we
the
picked it
spiciness
there.
from KB. I know he can play Renekton. He plays a fair amount, so I'm interested to see how that went.
Yep.
Yeah, we
Uh,
picked the Cho'Gath, so because we didn't know if they were gonna we assumed they would ban it if we didn't pick it, so we just picked it.
yeah, for sure, for sure. And then yeah, I agree. You could pick up the Cassidon. You know, it's more limited champ pool, so less likely to get countered. But could have been an opportunity for a counter pick. But looks like it worked out for you guys. So
Yeah.
let's see how the game went. And it looks like the
Looks
God
like
Kings picked up the victory in the
looks like
series.
Hobbit popped the fuck off, and then so did Deity. And
Yeah,
looks like the Renekton didn't work out.
our game plan was to get my game plan was to gank bot lane on repeat, and just that we did that and it worked, and then we just kind of there wasn't really much action like mid lane or top lane this game. It was mainly just like all the fights were bot lane, and then that we just kind of snowballed and won.
Sure,
So
Yeah,
it's
26 minutes. Yeah, looks about it.
Alright, so watch out for all the junglers. Duty hasn't played in a while. Whenever you're banding against him.
Noted. Noted.
Yeah, like straight up, it was literally just like, I mean, to be fair, it's like the Renekton and the Senna were like not a hard lane to gank. Like
No.
I'll be honest, there's like they're both not super mobile champions, so
Right, right.
it wasn't that hard to gank.
Well played to the God Kings. Looks like could have gone Titan Wrath way, but you guys closed it out. So we'll jump
Oh
into
yeah,
the
definitely. That second game, they could have easily 2-0'd us. Like they could have easily 2-0'd us. Like that second game, was very very close. Vantage
OCS
did
in
have
game.
most
There
CS,
you
Ball
go.
advantage.
There
Ball
you go, Vintage.
advantage.
It
Let's
helps when
go.
your Q executes minions for free. But we'll
That
jump
your
into the
E,
last matchup.
excuse you? Don't not knowing Malzahar abilities?
My bad. I'm not a cringe Malzahar player, you know. But we'll jump
Okay.
into H2O versus the Ultra Lords.
All right. E.
The Salts. I'm gonna let you go through this one. You played.
Go
Okay.
Soul.
Um.
This is my top
So yeah. So
laner.
yeah. So this is my first game in the league this season. And I wasn't able to play last season, so they kind of just like I literally got back and got chosen a day later to play for H2O. So then this was our first time ever playing together as a team, so that was super cool. Like we didn't even practice before this, and literally both me and TJ got picked up a couple days before the game. So this was kind of just a full send team fight thing. So, but yeah, it was me, TJ, Jungle, Akali, Mid, Perfy, and then Lethal for the first time playing together versus Kuro, and then Zabel, Kazuto, Zolmorn, and then Timberland. And we are obviously very worried about Kazuto most of the time in Zabel. So yeah, getting to draft one. So they opted to five ban me here for my first game back. So
They just
that was
wanted to welcome you home, really.
yeah. So that was cool. So there's not much
They
to
were
talk about.
scared.
Yeah, there's not much to talk about as far as their banning phase went. So they just five banned me. And then we wanted to kind of just focus on controlling the bot lane and mid lane for the most part. So obviously we hit the Kaisa, the Cass. I know we hit Kuro a little bit just because he likes the GP. So we hit him with the GP just because it's like that's your comfort pick, whatever. But pretty much we just want to control Kazuto here with the Ari band, the Lissandra band, the Cass band, and then because they our jungle TJ, or sorry, yeah, our jungle he loves Maokai, so I'd be careful cut that because he's cracked. And then we had Lethal on a Mumu. He also loves a Mumu. Looking for the Wombo combo here, kind of just like with the Maokai, a Mumu ults, and then the Sivir was a pretty good pick into like the safe lane that was Milio Ezreal, and then Victor mid was a really good pick by Perfy. So, and then they obviously tested my champ pool depth, so I just had to end up going Renekton. I won't say how many other champions I had available at that point, but that was one of them.
At least one.
Yeah, at least one. But yeah, and they he picked Cassante top, LeBlanc mid, obviously pretty cringe with the new item, Stack Shiv, and then the Emilio Ezreal bot, pretty safe bot lane to try and fight into, and then the Lee Sin by Zabel was a very interesting pick. Definitely didn't see that one coming. So getting into, you guys have any comments or?
I really like your guys' just setup for team fights. You have a ton of CC and the Mayo and the Amumu. On the Renekton, as long as you're scary enough, you can try to dive at the Ezreal and disrupt his team fight.
Mm,
For their side, I think they kind of need to get ahead or just find picks or poke them out with the Ezreal for team fights. So I think if it goes pretty even, I'd favor your guys' team.
yeah,
Yeah, I agree. The only thing that they have that's like super like I don't know. To be fair, I think they do have a lot of OP champions. I think like LeBlanc is really stupid right now. If you go to the static shiv build, I think Ezreal Emilio is like a really safe lane. But I mean Sivir also is like pretty good. Like you can just leave Sivir alone to farm in that lane, and it's probably fine. Just have a Mumu roam elsewhere. So I mean I think it could go either way. I think H2O have a much easier uh, to play comp, but I think Ultra Lords do have good champions for
yeah,
sure.
they yeah,
Yeah,
the
agreed.
LeBlanc with the Stag Shiv, Cassante, Emilio, yeah, they were literally like, "Hey, Riot, like, give me your best champions right
Hey,
now."
hey, what play?
Yeah.
What did Cloud9 play yesterday? Let me see what they
Yeah,
look at
it's
what they
weird.
played
It's
and
crazy.
play these champs.
Yeah,
Let's
and then
jump
so
into
game
the
1
score
ended.
screen.
Yeah, so, they FF'd, really um, the game went really well for us. I was still able to get a really good lead top. Me and TJ dove top many a times with Zabel.
Many times.
Dang.
Yeah. He was not happy. Akali popped off on the Victor really hard against Kazuto, so that was really good. And then really like our bot lane, like Perfy and Lethal were just kind of chilling, hanging out, like just farming it up, exactly what we kind of needed them to, while we kind of just ran away with the mid and top and jungle. So, yeah, they ended up FFing pretty early. So,
Looks like a collie popped off on the Victor sim.
yeah, he was melting people. Yeah.
Nice. Let's
Laser
jump into
beams
game
and
number
such.
2, see how adjustments were made.
Yeah, so they didn't 5 ban me this time. They still threw out 2 bans, but they realized that there was other players on the team besides me. So um, they just banned me 2 bans. So they banned the Maokai, which was a huge issue first game, and then the Silas ban towards TJ as well, more towards me. And then they first picked, and then they picked the Sona, Udyr, Tristana. Udyr was obviously like a really mobile champion, kind of all over the map. So and then the Sona Tristana, pretty good bot lane picks there. And then we banned again pretty much the exact same bans as first game, like no change. But then I first picked the Amumu, and then Perfy went for Caitlyn, and then TJ went Viego as more of an aggressive jungle because Maokai was banned. And then they banned the Annie away from mid, and then they still banned my Lilia. So the Zir pick went through, and we are like, oh wow, okay, like let's see how Kazuto goes on the Azir because he chose not to play the LeBlanc this time, and
Hmm.
then Zabel went with Malphite top. So I was like, okay, well they're not gonna ban, they didn't ban it, so I'm gonna play it. So I chose Set, and then uh, let's go Vex mid. So we're looking to kind of do again a kind of like a 5v5 front to back here. But yeah, let's see how it goes.
Well, This time, I'm assuming I know you're cracked on the set, but I don't think you got to have as much fun in this game against that Malphite. Would be my guess.
Yeah, we'll talk about
A
it.
top a top laner's dream matchup is Malphite.
And then, yeah, I do like Kazuto on that Azir. Gets a lot of engage for the team comp, and I like the Tristana ADC, and then just Udyr to be another meatball. So I do
Mhm.
like Ultralord's team comp a lot this game. You guys have the Amumu for the setup, but everyone else is kind of just there to run at them and try to get picks. So yeah, let's see how they did.
Yeah, so we lost.
Yeah.
So, um, unlike game 1, game 2, they camped the shit out of me up top, so I was not able to really play the game.
Top lane
But
matters.
yeah, top lane matters, hashtag top laners live.
Allegedly.
Um, yeah, so, Akuro and Timberland, popped off really hard, bot lane, really mostly after laning phase, like, the laning phase went fine for us, but it was after laning phase. Kazuto scaled really well. We were ahead leading into mid game, but we just kind of let the game get too late, and then Kazuto just scaled way too hard. The Tristana scaled way too hard. We couldn't kill a Malphite eventually, so it's just they had a really great scaling comp, and we kind of just like the game got away from us slowly. So really well played on the Kazuto's Azir here. We like couldn't get away from it. So and
Yeah.
Kuro really popped off on the Tristana.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean,
Good.
yeah, I do like how they actually picked like aggro champions like in bot lane. I feel like bot lane and mid lane are where they're like most, like Kazuto's like decent the salary difference and is greatest in mid and bot. So I would say that that's like picking Ezreal Melio just kind of seems like counterproductive on their team since they're the team that wants to have the more aggressive bot lane, I would feel like. But so I like their draft adaptation here.
Yeah, and
And they definitely got all the kills on Kazuto and Kuro where they wanted to get them. So you can see by those
Yeah.
damage numbers they popped off this game.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
unfortunate, very unfortunate.
But it's still a 40-minute game, so probably
Yeah.
a back and forth. But we'll
Oh yeah.
jump into draft number 3.
Yeah, brutal game. And then number 3, again, our focus was like, okay, like they did really well at scaling on their team, so it's like maybe we choose a little bit more scaling team on ours. So um, we kind of went with generally the same bans, except for we opted to ban the what's it called ban. We banned Kaisa, uh, Tristana, Cassio still, and then we banned the Aphelios Malphite because he ended up picking the Azir first round instead of second round. So we had a more ADC ban. And then they still banned the Maokai Silas Mord, and then this time they banned my Renekton and Lilia. And then this time, yeah, we picked Amumu for the third time.
Yeah, we're good
And
champ.
we love the green guy, yeah.
The
And then
green champ. Let's go.
yeah, and then we ran um, Ezreal Mumu bot lane with Belbussy in the jungle because TJ also likes her. And then they literally just ran back the Udyr, Azir, Sona. And then for this time
Queen of the year.
yeah, and then we ran back the Victor mid, but I opted for the Ornhorn up top because I knew that he would probably be running a tank top. And he did. And he ran Sion on top and then Twitch bot. So it was kind of a slap box fight up top for a little bit.
Yeah, you got that nice meatball matchup where
Yeah.
you just hit each other and nothing happens.
Yeah, just slap each other with wet paper
Stack
napkins.
those grass stacks
Yeah.
and pray.
Yeah, napkin
Amumu coming in as the people's jungler once again. He was the people's jungler last season with Los Nevadas, and now he's the people's jungler again.
hmm
It's just Amumu's the secret sauce to the league, is what we're discovering.
Yeah.
True.
No.
For this one, I like both team comps. I think Ultralords is a little bit weaker since the Malphite got taken away. Scion's go button is a little harder to just press. And Twitch, I think, needs a little more to get online to be that hyper carry, but it's a similar idea, obviously. Um, we've got Salt on the Orin. As long as you make it to late game, you buff up your teammates for
Mhm.
free. and then you've got that kind of triple carry and a secondary engage in the Amumu. So I do like your 2-man setup for team fights.
Yeah,
And
and
Yeah,
it's the mid matchup of the two champs they popped off in game 1 and 2. So we'll
yeah,
see who
exactly.
pops off this time. A reminder, I love seeing all these Prime subs in the chat. If anyone else has Prime subs, they can toss our way. We'll definitely take them. We appreciate it.
we'll definitely take them. Won't ask
Definitely.
questions. We'll just put them right in your pocket.
We'll
Yeah,
love you for at least 30 days at a time.
yeah, 30 days. And so game 3, deciding who took away, it was us. So we took our first win, first time playing together, our
Yeah.
first series win together.
Thank you, Vexy.
Yep. So that was awesome. Yeah. So Akali popped off
Lethal
yet
in the
again,
house.
but really TJ absolutely stomped this game. Just ran away with the game, really just doing an absurd amount of damage. And then
T-
I kind of just became a brick wall. Perfy, like, may not have a lot of kills, but he was doing absurd amount of damage. And Lethal was just making a lot of plays. So this
TJ,
game
the
also,
first, the first person other than me to have an acceptable Belbussy build.
I
yeah,
was about to
Good
call
job,
that out. I
TJ.
was gonna say
Good
TJ
job.
took your advice on the build.
Yeah,
So
he built more. He built Mork, dude. I'm proud of him.
mhm,
I
yeah,
taught him everything he knows.
Looks
yeah,
like Kazuto got rolling again this game, but it was a very long one. Looks like it could have gone either way, but you guys closed it out. Well played with your new team together, first time, and you pick up that victory.
yeah. It was a 44-minute
3
game.
Barons.
Yeah,
True. A
44-minute game.
long game.
Yeah, it was a absolute
They got
grinder.
three
But
barons, and then
And
you
we
guys
couldn't
won.
for that. That's wild.
But you guys
yeah,
got 5 dragons, so
Did you guys get the Elder?
we got
yeah.
Elder
Okay,
top
that'll
5
do it.
actually, I think. So
Thank
Elder
God for
better.
June.
One elder is better than 3 barons. That's all
yeah,
you
Yeah,
gotta
it was
learn.
looks like these games went pretty late.
yeah, it was a rough game, but hey, we
Wait,
we pulled it out. The
how
Azir
did
was
they
obviously
get? Oh, wait, how
gonna
did they
oh,
get 3 barons and they weren't all level 18? That's crazy.
yeah.
Baron gives you
It
so much experience.
well, yeah,
Someone was actually just sitting at Baron waiting for the next one to spawn. Just to make sure.
yeah, they literally would get the
uh,
Barons, and then, we kinda would just kill them for right after they got the Barons.
yeah, I guess Zolmorn only had 150 CS in 44 minutes. So that kind of checks out,
Right.
tracks a little bit.
Shout out to Kazuto with the 344, and then TJ and Perfy both over 300.
Yeah,
My
Mhm.
goodness.
Yeah. Yeah, long
really, really padding the CS stat in on the website.
And that's why we added the CS per minute. Cause I'm like, if someone has a long ass game, they're gonna have a lot of
Yeah,
CS.
I know. I was advocating for that at the beginning of the season. I'm just like, yeah, see, just putting a flat CS number kind of doesn't make doesn't say anything.
yeah,
What do you mean this is still going, Leon? Enjoy the show. Stop complaining.
Yeah,
And give us your
jeez,
Prime
dude,
sub. Come on, man.
hang out. Yeah, freaking give us your money.
yeah,
Give us your money. This is the stick up.
yeah. Well,
But those are all the games from this week. We'll toss it over and look ahead at the coming up games. I believe all of them will be played on Sunday. So who builds the most actions? That might be how this week goes, honestly.
yeah. Whoever picks
um,
Emilio and Cassante enough, and LeBlanc.
we got Night Raid Owls against Titan Gaming Mucks. Battle of the Bulge versus Velocity Gaming. Titan's Wrath versus H2O. Los Nomadas versus the Rolling Stoners. Source Stars versus Ultralords. And Beard versus Big Wheel, which is
Just
supposed to
Beard
be
by
Goat
himself.
Kings, not
Just
Beard.
Beard by himself, actually,
It's
1v5.
Beard. No, it's literally just Beard. We're not on the team
Beard,
anymore. It's
Beard's
just
gonna
Beard is
1v5 this week.
Yeah,
Beard kicked
1v5.
this whole team, and he's just playing all 5 rules. So I'm actually looking for a new team after this because
Yeah,
I found myself teamless
yeah, he actually
after
just
Beard took
AI'd
over.
We'll,
his other
we'll
4
play.
Yeah,
teammates
yeah.
with AI, so
We'll play for Ganks.
He has Chat GPT making clones of himself as we speak, but
yeah,
currently, yeah. I mean, looks
Uh,
like some good games coming up.
Quickly, I'll run through Vintage's predictions. He gave some quick ones since he's busy moving, but he picked NRO over TM, Battle of the Bulk over Velocity, H2O over Titan's Wrath,
ooh,
Ultra Lords over Soarstar, Big Wheel over
Over Beard.
Beard,
Over Beard.
Yep.
and Los
I too
and
think Big Wheel is gonna beat Beard.
Andy's picking Los Nomadas over the Rolling Stoners. He thinks Los Nomadas can take him off their 3-0 streak.
Dude,
Damn.
he will pick Los Nevadas every week, and it's the vintage curse, man.
He's gonna wait till
Last
they're
year,
mathematically eliminated and be like, "No, I still think they got it."
I still think they're gonna win.
last year, according to Servopsy, last year he said Vintage voted against his team every time and then lost. So now he is going the opposite strat, and he is voting for Los Nevadas every game. And now Los Nevadas is not winning every game. So if Los Nevadas do not make playoffs, it is Vintage's fault. You heard it
Damn.
here first.
It is
Damn.
He is
rough for
actually just cursing them.
Los Nomadas because they're in the division with the God Kings and Big Wheel, and you guys
It's
have
just Beard. It's
Just
just
Beard.
Beard.
and Beard. My bad,
Yeah,
my bad.
it's
But
no, it's just Beard. There's no Goat Kings. Yeah.
Leon says
Yeah.
the victory this week was all him. Well done, Leon.
True.
But
True.
the Beard versus Big Wheel is the fight of the 3-0s currently, so we'll see who can remain undefeated in that matchup.
It's actually Leon Nomadas versus Rolling Stoners.
Yeah, sorry.
But what do you guys think for this week? Who are you going with for the different game?
I don't know.
Do we know of subs? Because I know there's some teams that are gonna have subs, but
I think that Gaming Box will have Jad's dad top again as a sub. Rolling Stoners are subbing their support for Blitzkrieg Pyro. I don't know of any others.
I would say NRO take first or first versus Titans Gaming. I would say you guys are gonna beat Velocity. I would say H2O will beat Titans Wrath. That'll be close. That'll be a fun one though.
Yeah,
I think Los Nemadas versus Rolling Stoners. I'll go with Vintage. I'll say the Nemadas are gonna Leon and Nemadas are gonna come
Hope
out.
you.
Uh, Hopium.
Leon
I
Modest.
Source Star versus Ultra Wars is the battle of the O3s, so I think that could go either way. To be honest.
Not a
And
prediction,
then
just spoiler.
I'll say Beard is gonna 1v5 Big Wheel and come out on top,
Just
just
Beard,
all
yeah.
by himself. Yeah,
Mhm.
just Beard, all
Gonna
by
have
himself.
5 computers surrounding him, just playing every champion.
Yeah, he is gonna be hacker man. He's gonna be tapped into the mainframe and
Yeah,
just
kinky
playing
himself.
every champion. Yep. He's gonna play 5 support champions in each lane and or just
Battle
win.
for the
It's
L3.
gonna be sick.
Battle,
It's gonna be
yeah,
sick.
battle against the O3s. Yeah, shades.
Who are the L3s? Oh yeah,
It
it is the Battle of the L3s.
it
Well, one
wasn't
of the teams have to win this week, so there
yeah,
you go.
it wasn't shade. I'm just saying it's the battle of the O3s. They're both 0 and 3. I don't actually know who's gonna win.
Yeah. No, I
But
pretty much agree with your predictions. I think.
it does work out for them because they're both in the same division. So really,
Yeah,
whichever team wins this are setting itself really nicely to make it to playoffs.
and they'll have a rematch. So this isn't their first. You know, they'll have 2 matches because it's their first time playing each other.
Yep.
What? I'm not talking shit. What the? What?
Bro, actually just thinks like we're freaking like what? Come on, man.
Listen,
It's literally chill.
Bro, hey,
Salt always talks shit. Okay, he just doesn't know any better.
I speak facts only. Nothing but the facts. Help me, God.
Yeah, the brother versus brother matchup, Beard versus all of Big Wheel is going to be a hype matchup.
Yeah, definitely this week. I'm gonna try to stream those games, unless if for some reason it's a stomp, then maybe not.
Then maybe not. Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, well,
um,
we'll try not to make it a 2-0.
yeah,
Try to
Wheel
figure that
Poco's
out.
already calling me out in the game chat, saying I'm scared. I'm out here shaking in my boots for our matchup, but
Jeez, man.
I'm gonna come get you, Wheel Poco. You watch it.
Bro, all these ADC players got egos.
They got
Jeez,
buffed,
right?
so
Like,
because Freak jumped onto the
Yeah,
balance team,
Freak,
and now they all feel
Freak.
good.
Oh, bro, I swear, bro, Freak is giving all the ADC players egos. It's crazy.
Yeah, now they're out
Coco's
now.
on Velocity.
Now they're coming out their caves like, no, it's my time. It's like, no, get back in your
It's
cave.
it's
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 my
my
time.
time.
That's why
Every
whenever we're
season's
playing,
my
if
time.
if we're fighting in the ADCs, we're like, make him feel like an ADC again.
Yeah,
True.
exactly.
True. Tactic is the only grassroots ADC left. What a
Yeah.
Chad. What a guy.
True.
Anyone's still touching
That's
grass
why
here.
that's why
Bro,
he does so well in every game. He remembers the humbleness.
Mhm.
yeah, he
Yeah.
remembers season 8 ADCs, and he remembers he was there.
For sure. But with that, those are the weeks coming up. We do want to have one more thing we're going to talk about. It's going to be the rewards for whoever ends up winning this season two. The plan currently is, since we've been getting a bunch of primes, we appreciate you all tossing it out there, is to do some custom jerseys for the winning team, where whichever team wins can design their own jersey, and we'll get one for each of you. Uh,
Yeah, just
off of
the
off of your team design.
winning team gets the Gucci jerseys.
Yeah.
It's gonna be hype. They're gonna be like,
So
we want the Louis V jerseys actually for our
Oh my.
that
team.
that'll be our giveaway. Potentially, I'll still print something as well. So maybe you'll get two things this season.
Ooh,
But
we'll
yeah,
print the jerseys.
no, I won't print the jerseys. But
Yeah.
maybe my wife or Bulgaria's wife will use their crickets to make them. Since apparently both our wives have one.
Yeah, print them.
Nice.
I want mine made with fine silk. Well, you can buy the silk and then we'll make it okay.
Jesus.
But keep that in mind as you play your games. Go for that victory and try to get a sweet prize in the end. There you go. All the wives love their crickets. You know, they're also crafty nowadays.
So crafty.
Yeah.
So crafty. But with that, I think that's everything we wanted to cover for this week. So thank you all for watching. We'll catch you this week for more matchups when we do our casts of the VODs on Sunday. And remember to use a Prime sub so we love you for 30 days.
Yep, 30 days only. Love you too.
I mean, I
Catch
love
y'all
all you
later.
guys regardless. I'm just saying.
No, don't tell them that. Then we won't get the Prime sub.
True, I'm sorry. Bye.
All right. Thank you everyone for watching. We'll catch you next time.
Peace.
Oh boy.
Let's go. The nightmare of eternity marches right before your eyes as the ground begins to shake. Ravens fly amongst the sky, battles of great divine.